Set things up. Beautiful. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss. It is Creator. So just updating the YouTube title. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from Canada representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. Here we go. As we jump into our first PvP of the night. And Trigger has been a beast in this matchup. Also, before I start talking about the players, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. This is a hard one to call. Now, Trigger, his PvP has been insane. If you've been watching Trigger's performances over the past 2 months, you will know that Trigger, I don't think there's a single Korean player he hasn't beaten in PvP. Hero, Trap, Creator, along Zaun as well. Trigger, he has gone to town on every single one of them. It's been classic as well. It's been crazy to see Trigger's performance in PvP. But that was, of course, in December. And again, PvP can be sometimes more unorthodox. Trigger, a lot of it was off of aggressive plays and all-ins. Like, he was hyper aggressive, hyper in the face of all his opponents, and has been doing really well. Has been doing really well as a result. We'll see if that trend continues. See if that trend continues. I want to say that I think it was last month where Trigger, he posted on Twitter, like he made a post about like you know, try harding macro against Protoss Smoge, and then like I just ape and all in every game and then I win. That's the secret, Bobby. That's the secret. Just ape it up. That's how you PvP. But we'll see. For now, 2-gate. 2-gate opener out of Creator. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of Trigger as well. Yes, ape it up. Oh no. 1A30 Zealots into Lurkers. Oh no. Este Dash. Calm down, Bobby. Calm down. Well, for now, standard openers, we have our initial units of choice. It is going to be Stalker Sentry out of Trigger. Meanwhile, it's going to be, I believe, Double Adept. Yes, Double Adept out of Creator. So Creator being a little more aggressive, a little more assertive, moving out with a 3rd and 4th Adept as well. With this, his goal is to shade into the mineral lines and to get some economic damage. We'll see if Trigger can keep up. As he does a thread in the shade. Oh! Doesn't quite make it in. Trigger so far, he does keep up, does defend. And likewise moves out with that hallucination. And again, this is one of the reasons why sentry-based openers are very trendy and very popular in PvP. One, because they're defensive, they allow you to survive with force fields, with added DPS, especially with the most recent changes to the sentry, but more importantly, hallucination. With hallucination, you get a full scout of everything. You see the tech, you see the production, you see the economy as well of your opponent, and with that, Trigger does confirm, the setup does confirm the Robo. So Robo follow-up here. Oh, Jesus, oh my god! That's a lot of adepts. Creator, he's not been stopping. Oh my god. That's 8 adepts. Creator, I mean, he heard us. He was listening to the stream. He was like, just ape it up. I'm true. Just mass adept. Let's go. As 8 adepts, they have arrived, threatening a shade here towards the main. Trigger's trying to keep up. No shield batteries. Bear that in mind. No shield batteries at the natural. Jesus. Creator, he does shade once again. Tempted. Does he commit? He does! Does commit to the shade, does focus on the sentries. He gets 1, he gets 2. He's gonna get all 3. But alas, the force fields, they lock him down. And with that Trigger, he may just be able to clean this up. He will. Whew. With that, he looks down at Creator. Checking the unit source tab here. 3 sentries for 5 adepts. That was a better trade for Trigger. Sentries, they do gain value over time, true, with their hallucinations, but still a good defense and no economic damage gets dealt. Trigger holds. Trigger, he does hold. Behind this, with the Robo Opener, we see Creator building up his Immortal count. Has his first Immortal. Into Twilight Council. Alas, Trigger is ahead when it comes to his Blink timing. Blink is almost done. And Trigger will gain map control. Gain map control. Behind this, Trigger getting his 3rd. Fanning out, looking for proxies. On a map as large as Frostline, don't blame him. Making sure everything is as it should be. Make sure there's no hidden tech. Likewise, Creator, he's being contained. Trigger getting his third base up and running. And Trigger, all he needs to do is contain. Is just contain Creator here on 2 bases. Get away with the third. Probe up, build up his production, build up his upgrades as well into Forge. But doesn't want to be too greedy. Ooh, those are extra gateways. Hello. 4 more gates on the way. That's going to be a 7-gate setup in total. Oh, snipes the sentry. Nice blinks. Trigger, he gets away. Does pull back, does get away. That immortal count's building up. And this is turning into a 2-base all-in. Yeah, it's a straight up 2-base all-in at a Creator. It's going to be all or nothing. And it's so important here that Trigger slows down the push and picks up any key units like a sentry, like a stalker. Trigger, he needs to whittle away at this army. Oh, without losing too much himself. It's a delicate dance. Back at home, reinforcing. Shield batteries are on the way for Trigger. He knows what's coming. Does blink. Has to be careful. Oh! Wes barely pulls away in time. Creator, he's coming. Behind this, War Prism is on the way. And there's not going to be an easy hold here for Trigger. Again, he needs to make use of those shield batteries. That's 7 shield batteries on the way. That's a lot of shield batteries. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for Trigger. But that's going to be 4 Immortals. That's a lot of Immortals. Creator moving in. Trigger. The Prism! Up! Doesn't quite get it. Gets the Observer. Takes down the Observer. Army rotates. Trigger out of position. A massive dive. Force Wheels, they do slow down the army. Trigger coming from behind. For the attendants around. Half of the warp in. Gets in. We get another reinforcing warp in as well. Trigger being forced back. Does save his workers. Blinks over the wall. The shield batteries are helping. Boys are being pulled. Trigger, he can afford to lose them. But the Immortals are doing so much in the back line. The base is going to go down. Brutal force fields as well. Just locking Trigger out. Oof. And the shield batteries are depowered. And Trigger, he just cannot push into this. Too many Stalkers, too many Immortals as well. He just goes for the dive, blinks on top of Trigger. And Creator, he overwhelms. He overwhelms Trigger here and now. Trigger falling back to these shield batteries. Trying to make a final stand. Hey, looks down an Immortal. Ah, never mind. The pickup micro saves the Immortal. Creator, he preserves the army. And the all-in just proves to be too much. Jesus, so many Stalkers here. 31, double the Stalker counts. And he can just dive in. GG gets called, and Creator, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Creator does take a lead in the series. Again, just committed to a 7-gate, 2-base all-in with 4 Immortals. It was an insane army. Unfortunately, Trigger, he was caught out of position. If you remember, he was caught on the wrong side of the wall. He was trying to come in from behind, and we saw Creator, he just dove into the 3rd base. So Trigger, he wasn't able to actually make use of his shield batteries. Despite having 7 shield batteries, wasn't able to really make use of them, and with that, GG. With that, GG well played. Creator, he breaks through. Likewise, these all-ins are favored on maps like Frostline. I should have brought that up as well. Frostline is known for having very open and very large 3rd and 4th base locations. Because of that, I mean, you have less of a defense advantage. Because of that, you have no choke point to take advantage of, no choke point to defend. With that, Creator snowballed out of control. GG. GG well played. We're now getting into game number 2. Jumping into game 2, it's going to be on Errorholm. One of, if not the smallest map in the tournament map pool. Let's go. Errorholm is coming up next. We'll get into it. There's some stutter in the broadcast. It's just me. I do apologize. It is server side. I will try to fix that if we get another match on the Korean server. Basically, it's routing to the Korean server, which is a little bit unstable for me. Yeah, you can see here. You can see like a little bit like some stuttering here and there. I do apologize. To fix it, I do have to turn on my VPN. But we're already in game. Regardless, spawning in the top right hand corner of Error Home, we have the blue Protoss player from South Korea leading the series 1-0. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. But if you see like a frame drop here or there, that's basically unfortunately there's just really bad routing to the Korean server, or specifically it's like there's like a node in the Korean server that just has really bad routing to Australia. So that's why you see like some stuttering like here and there. And I can fix it by turning on my VPN. That's usually how we do fix it whenever we cast a Korean tournament. But I can't do it now because you have to. I would have to do it out of game. Because it'll just log me out. It'll boot me from the game if I try to activate it here. Oh, we're logged in. We're locked in back. The national broadband network, true. But again, it's not like a internet speed thing. It's literally a routing thing. Unfortunately. Regardless, Creator opening up with a proxy. Let's go. We do have our gate expand here on the low ground, but sorry, 2 gate opener out of Creator. We're going for 1 base all in. 1 base all in here from Creator. Last game was 2 bases. Here we go down to 1. There's the proxy Robo. Robo has been placed, and Trigger went for a very greedy, very economic opener. Gate expand into the cyber core, and Trigger, he's looking. He knows the pylon is missing. He did check. He's searching for that pylon. He's searching, and it looks like he will find it. He will come across the proxy. Does get eyes on the Robo. Whew. Does confirm. But just because he knows what's coming his way doesn't mean he can stop it. Even last game, he knew about the 2 base all in, but could not bring him down. Could not stop Creator. Behind this, we need a Robo. We need a defensive Robo as quickly as possible. And Trigger needs his own immortal production. As the Robo for Creator is done, Prism on the way first, followed by the Robo. Shield batteries are on the way. Trigger is trying to buy time. There it is. There's that Robo. He needs those immortals. Meanwhile, our Toast's pylon is under fire. Second shield battery in the low ground. With the help of this Warp Prism, Creator, he can go straight for the main. He can avoid the natural. Hallucination up. Does miss. Does barely miss the Prism. Prism goes in. Trigger late to the party. And we get the unload. Trigger, he's somewhat keeping up. Starting back the army. Nice micro here out of Creator. Does control well. Force back. Force the back up. Black has more shield batteries on the way. Creator is going for the Cyber Core. Cyber Core under fire. Thankfully, the shield battery will keep it alive. Nice force field. Oh, but the last juggling is there. And we have more shield batteries on the way. That's a lot of shield batteries. There's going to be 6 shield batteries here at the natural. And I don't know if that's going to be enough, I'll be honest. Shield batteries are good, but they're not that good. As again, that Cybercore losing it is going to be brutal here. Cybercore goes down. Up, almost. The force fields. Buying time. But he wants it. He wants the Cybercore, and he's going to get it as well. Massive pickup. Cybercore goes down. That means no more reinforcing Stalkers or Sentries. Only Zealot. Only Zealots and Immortals. The first Immortal has arrived. Cybercore is being rebuilt in the main. Speaking of, Creator going for the main base. Does ferry in. Immortal taking a lot of damage. A bit of an awkward engage here from Creator. Fighting with only a portion of his army. Goes for the warp in. Nice force field. Zealots, they can engage. And Trigger, can he hold on? Takes out the sentries. Going for the Immortal. Second Immortal has arrived. Trigger, he's shutting this down. Up, has to pull back. Just barely saves the Immortal. GG gets called. Trigger, he holds. And Trigger ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Very fortunate there for Trigger as Creator. He did try to go into the main base because it was a really awkward kind of like transition or ferry into the main. He wasn't fighting with everything. Even though he had a much larger army, he was fighting with a handful of units at a time. Likewise, Trigger's force field was crazy to be able to zone away the Immortal as well to minimize damage. And with that, GG Trigger, he holds, he defends, he survives. And we're going to the ace match. Whew, we are going to the ace match. We'll see how this story ends. We'll see where this goes. If you heard that beep, that's me trying to get my VPN ready. Trying. Actually, can I do this? What if I... Actually, we shouldn't be on the Korean server after this series anyway, so we should be fine. Should be fine. It's all good. So we're getting into Amygdala for game number 3. We'll see how the story ends as we load into the ace match. Let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the blue Protoss player from South Korea being forced into the ace match, into a tied series. We'll see if he can bring it back. It is Creator. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. We go. Whew. As again, we had a very intense series so far. Game 1, Creator 2 base all in. Game 2, Creator he 1 base all in. Game 3, 3 base all in. Do we? How do we? Where do we go from here? do we macro? Do we find the macro? Maybe, potentially. We're here to find out. Or actually, I should say, is it Trigger's turn to all in? True. That hasn't happened yet. Is it time? For now, Creator moving out for his scouts. Trigger going for a 2-gate opener. So 2-gate opener out of Trigger. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of Creator as well. So far, so good. Mirrored builds. Delicate dance of death and destruction. Ah, no. Apparently so. You're an animal. You're an animal. As speed, yep, it's time. Let's go. As Trigger, he does throw down his pylon across the map. Now Creator knows. He does know. He does get eyes on the lack of pylon in the main, so he knows there's some shenanigans afoot here. The Cybercore is about to finish, and shows what you got. Proxy Rover, Proxy Stargate. Which is it going to be? My eyes are on Trigger. And there it is. 1 base all in. It's time. It's Trigger's turn. He's like, you know what? I've had enough of defending against all these all in. Enough. It's my turn. Okay, Trigger. Let's go. Send it, Pappy. Send it. As the robot has been thrown down, and now it is Creator's turn to be the defender. It is his turn. But now opening up Sentry Stalker. Probe does dip in. Gets eyes on the pylons. Ideally gets eyes on the follow-up tech. Haven't seen anything yet. Creator, does he expand? No shot. He's looking. Creator, he's looking for the proxy. No shot, he throws down the Nexus. Checking top left. There we go. He does find it. Whew, he does find the proxy, is now aware, and we should be seeing a defensive Robo. There it is. Robo is on the way for Creator. As Creator, he is made aware of the all-in. Back at home, he's setting up. Shield battery on the low ground. Bold move with that shield battery. Bold move. To try to make a stand. How many gates do we have? So far, it's going to be a 3-gate setup. Immortal has arrived. And Trigger, he is moving in. Yo, shout out to the hallucinations. Yo, terrifying Trigger. He's like, oh god, no. Hey, he's crazy. He's got 5 stalkers. How does that work? Hard to say. Trigger does pull away. Creator bluffing his way through this. Extra warp-ins. Getting extra warp-ins. Buying time here for that Immortal. Immortal's almost halfway done. Remember, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for Creator. So he does pile a blocker across the map. Drop into the main. Oh. Zoning back Trigger. It's zoned away. Trigger rotating over towards the low ground. Will reinforce. Oh, force fields, they try to lock him down. Hopping up at a Trigger. Saves his units. Does save them. Pulling back. Double Immortal into the main. Creator in position. Up, gonna be overwhelmed though. As Creator, he's supply blocked. Oh, yeah, supply blocked. Immortal is delayed. Takes down 1 Stalker. Very nice pickoff here by Trigger. Every unit counts. Taking down 1 Stalker so far. Low ground is exposed. And he will clean this up. Shield battery and the pylon. And then they shade in. Ooh, they shade into the main base. Trying to force his way in. It does reach a choke point. Force back. Creator, he's holding the line. Trying to release. Nice force fields. Looking down another Stalker. Another Stalker does get picked up. And these are too many losses here for Creators, losing far too much. And Stalker, sentries as well, down to a handful of units. Immortal's up in back. And Creators in trouble. As another gateway falls. Trigger, though, up trying to break through. Juggling is good. Does pull away. But he's forced out of the main. He did not get the gateway. Whew. Creator, he holds the line. Again, Trigger, he only lost Adepts. Only Adepts went down. But likewise, he did not get the gateway. He did not get the Immortal either. I assumed he would. Trigger moves back in. Leading out a sentry. The Concave is too good here. Oh my god. And Creator, he can pull the boys. If need be. He can pull them. Trigger, he's up in Immortal. He's up in Immortal. Zoning back his opponent. Once again, going for another gateway. Very nice force fields. Locking back some of the army. The gateway is going to go down. Here we go. The boys are pulled. And Creator, can he hold? Can he break through this? So far, good juggling through it. Immortal has arrived. Comes down to the Immortal control. Comes down to the Immortals. And so far, does save them. Creator, he saves his. So does Trigger. But Trigger's being overwhelmed. Doesn't have any support. Doesn't have any Stalkers, any Adepts. Aye. Trigger, he's running out of steam. He lost the Immortal. Did lose it. Backs off. But the economy, though. True. Kills 17 probes. Trigger is falling back. Warps in a couple of Adepts. Oh, he can take down these Stalkers. Can bring them down. Things getting tense. We go 5 units versus 5 units. Another Immortal arrives, takes out the Immortal. No shot at Trigger. He does it. He does it. GG gets called. He takes down the army, and with that Trigger, he will claim the series 2-1. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Very intense game. Trigger, he was able to cripple the economy. Creator, unfortunately, he was hoping to break through that defensive line and get on top of the Prism, get on top of the Immortals. Alas, it cost him every single probe. On top of that, very nice force fields. Very nice, like, meticulous control from Trigger as he was working his way up the ramp. It was very impressive to see him slowly work through the production, slowly work through the army as well. It was very impressive. Again, it did come down to those Immortals towards the end. Trigger did save 2 of them, so did Creator. And came down to the final surround as well. I mean, Creator, he was forced into the all-in. He only had 7 probes left mining. GG. GG. Very intense game. Congratulations. Trigger will take it, and Creator is out of the tournament. Oh my god. GG. Well played. Trigger, he does advance on to the semifinals, and he's going to be facing off against the winner of Showtime and Geralt. Let's go. Let us go.